Welcome to the Doge and Maha News Channel. I don't know about you, but I am pretty excited about this Department of Government Efficiency. I am sick and tired of hearing about government waste. It's been like that my whole life. I remember when I was a kid, they were joking about $600 toilets. I mean, it's funny, but at the same time, it's not a joke. But no one has ever done anything about it. It doesn't matter who was in control, what party, Republican, Democrat. The spending just kept continuing on and on and on at a ridiculous rate. So I'm excited to see what this Department of Government Efficiency is going to do. So I'm going to dedicate this channel and provide you with the latest updates on what DOGE is doing, how much money they're saving, what kind of waste they're cutting. So if that's something that interests you, you want to subscribe, like. Let's get into this Fox News video where they talk about some of the waste that DOGE is targeting.
Tackling this kind of waste, fraud, abuse, bureaucratic bloat, we're going for the stuff that's basic common
I love that. Get rid of the bureaucratic bloat. There's definitely plenty of that.
Sense that most Americans actually agree on. And I hope we're going to actually be able to help unite the country by...
Yeah, I think most Americans should be able to agree with this, whether you are Republican, Democrat, MAGA, it doesn't matter. Let's get rid of some bloat. Let's save the country some money. I think we should all be able to agree on this.
Eliminating waste, which is something that all Americans, regardless of partisan affiliation, can get behind. And that's how Elon and I are thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, that was Vivek Ramaswamy touting the new Department of Government Efficiency.
DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. I love that.
That he and Elon Musk will be running. Now, also known as DOGE, this temporary agency will partner with the White House and Office of Management and Budget to drive structural government change from outside the government.
It'll be really interesting to see how this unfolds. Obviously, right now, it's very preliminary. We don't know what it's going to look like, but that's why I want to follow this, because I'm really curious to see what happens.
Now, they put out their first messaging on X yesterday, writing this: working overtime to ensure your tax dollars will be spent wisely.
There you go. If you want to follow it on X, right there, DOGE. I'm going to follow it on X too.
So what have we been spending some of our federal funds on? Let's review. Almost $550,000 went to a Russian lab to run experiments on cats' brains.
That was spent by
the National Institutes of Health.
Wait, the National Institute of Health, isn't that Fauci? Isn't he in charge of that? That makes me a little bit nervous. But first of all, why are we spending so much money on cats' brains? And then secondly, why is this being done in Russia? I mean, what is so important about this project? Doesn't make any sense to me.
$3.7 million of funding went to a study on monkeys and gambling.
$3.7 million. What did they give him, like $3.5 million to gamble with, and they lost it all? That is ridiculous.
Another NIH fascinating project, and the State Department awarding tens of thousands of dollars for drag shows in Ecuador.
Okay, drag shows in Ecuador. Wait, what? Why are we spending money on drag shows in Ecuador? Can't they spend their own money on drag shows in Ecuador? Why does the U.S. have to promote that in another country? It doesn't make any sense. It's so interesting how much all of this money is spent in other countries on weird things, but we don't spend very much money at all helping Americans. Like, think about the fire in Hawaii. How much money did they get? Not much. What about the hurricanes that hit South Carolina and Florida? How much money are they getting? Man, compared to this, nothing.
And that's just the tip of the wasteful spending iceberg. Here's Senator James Langford rattling off just a few government spending projects at a House hearing last year.
Let's see what he has.
Last year, the State Department did a grant to Ecuador to host 12 drag shows in Ecuador with American tax dollars.
12 drag shows?
May have different opinions in this room on drag shows. I'm just asking the simple question: is the best use of American tax dollars to actually fund drag shows in Ecuador with U.S. tax dollars?
12
National
drag
Science
shows,
Foundation last year
$20,000.
did a study of butterflies
Butterflies?
in Europe. So we funded with American taxpayer dollars. Last year, there
Okay, wait. Why are we spending money again in another country in Europe to study butterflies? What benefit did we get from this? What scientific benefit did we get from this study? I don't know. There is actually a report that this guy is pulling this information from, and I'm going to go ahead and put that link down below so you guys can check that out. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that up here in a couple minutes, and we'll look at it, some of them.
There was also a NEA grant that was done to set up a display in Brooklyn for the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Man, I feel cheated. Only in Brooklyn? How come that wasn't touring the entire United States? You know, I didn't get to see it.
Which, by the way, is not even an American band. We had an almost, $350,000 grant to study smart toilets. Was one of the grants that we actually paid for with our federal tax dollars last year.
Why are we studying smart toilets? This seems like this has already been studied in other countries that use them. It seems like they have plenty of information on this, plenty of consumer data. Why are we studying them? Again, I don't know what the benefit is.
We also had a grant that was done studying colonial Mexican soundscapes.
Okay, what is a soundscape? What is that? Is that just like the noise that is coming off colonial Mexican places? I mean, what, is there like animal noises and music, or what is that?
Last year, did a study on helmets and seatbelts in Ghana.
The title on that card, you gotta be kidding me. That's hilarious.
To be able to study whether seatbelts and helmets were effective for saving lives in Ghana. Can I just go ahead and answer that question for free? Seatbelts and helmets are a good idea.
The guy's a genius. Man, he figured that out without even the study. Wow.
They save lives. Free.
I think we know that already.
Haley, the American people had no idea about this, and how would they? When the administration, we are disentangling ourselves.
Again, it's funny, right? It's kind of funny to talk about this stuff, and it seems like a joke, but that is legit money being spent on ridiculous things, and it has to stop. So that's why I'm excited to see what DOGE can do.
From is committed to an opacity, and at the same time, Americans can't afford grocery bills. But hey, let's spend millions on
She's
a
pretty
bunch of
passionate.
ridiculous projects outside this country.
It is complete and total malpractice, and the
Malpractice,
biggest
and it's been going on
positions to
not
me that
since,
have been
not
appointed
just the
are
Biden
Vivek
administration.
Ramaswamy
It's been
and
going
Elon
on
Musk in this new
for
department. And it's
50,
not
60
just
years.
The money. The money is a big part of it. It is gutting the career civil service from this administration. Let me give you an example.
The bureaucrats.
Trump becomes president in 2016. Trump goes in. Do you want to know what happens 1 month later? 1 month after he is president of the United States, commander-in-chief, a vote of the American people, details of his calls with the foreign leaders of Mexico and Australia were leaked.
They're trying to undermine
the
him.
Associated Press, Australia details went to the Washington Post. These were career civil servants leaking the details Trump was having with foreign leaders.
That's
they
not
need
right.
to go.
That's not
the
right.
American people spoke. He is president of the United States. Get rid of the bureaucracy. It's not about undermining Trump. That's undermining you, undermining your vote. Get rid of them on day one. Vivek, I know, is up to the task. I've had conversations with him about this. It's time to put these two in charge. Give them a ton of power. Get rid of career
It'll be
civil
interesting
servants.
to see what
Yes,
they
ma'am.
do.
I can't wait. And remember, I was a federal
How much
attorney. I was
change
an
can they
acting
affect? I don't know.
director in a top 10 agency of an appellate office. And I really can't express adequately what it is like to push against the beast of spending. And among those spendings, I want to talk to you about something,
It's gotta
Paul,
be really
which
hard.
is the overpayments. This is where the waste comes into play. $3 trillion, Open the Books reported, since
Wait.
2004. They define it as essentially wrong payments to the wrong person or for the wrong reason.
Wait.
Do you think Americans will give that back? Because I saw firsthand.
Did she say $3 billion was sent to the wrong people? That is crazy. And that is totally ineptitude. That is just people that don't know what they're doing. I mean, maybe it's the people. It could be the processes. Maybe there's something wrong with the system. Obviously, there's something wrong with the systems as well, but it's also the people that are supposed to be double checking this. Man, that is ridiculous. Money that is going to the wrong place.
And the billions of overpayments by the Social Security Administration where, oh, I'm sorry, guys, we just wasted $3 billion for no reason other than ineptitude, incompetence, or sheer laziness. And my point is that...
And there's no accountability. There's like no accountability to this. No one gets fired. No one gets in trouble. Like she just said, it's like, oh, well, that just happened. Oh, well.
It is the structure that bakes it in. So Elon and Vivek are coming in and they're going to blow up that structure.
I hope they do.
Just like this. Well, we gave them money before, so we're going to do it again. No, we do not inherit the incompetence anymore.
I'll give you a good example, salient example. So apparently it's bouncing around online that when Pete Hegseth got SecDef, there was a quote from a government contract, military contractor, saying essentially, who the blank is Pete Hegseth? That is exactly the reaction you want, right? Because who's this outsider that's going to come in that's going to kick this whole thing over, essentially, right? It's not somebody that he's taken to lunch. He's been whining and dining for the last 20 years that he knows the
put money in his pocket already.
That's exactly what you're talking about, Kaylee, and that is what you need. The other thing is
Yeah, he's talking about corruption there. I mean, they haven't, a lot of these people that are being appointed right now, they haven't had time to corrupt them yet. I mean, yeah, how many of these Washington bureaucrats are corrupted by big corporations? It's got to be mind-boggling.
Two things real quick. First of all, why are we funding all these bad ideas in other countries? We have enough bad ideas of our own, for the love of God. Why are we, I mean, helmets and God, come on. That's one thing. The other thing is this real quick. I know and I recognize, and this is the argument against it, that the real money we have to worry about is Medicare, Social Security. I get those are the big numbers. I understand that. But these wasteful products still take us into the billions, right? It still matters. Yep. What you do, and this is what I'd like to see, is as you cut these superfluous programs,
hopefully Medicare will be
people visually see.
streamlined,
So we cut $500
made more
million
efficient
from this nonsense. We built an old age home for veterans. Here it is in Maryland, in wherever.
Take the money that we saved and put it towards something good.
Domestic.
Yeah. Well, let's do a little more examples of this squander of...
Maybe take that money and give it to the people in Hawaii that got their whole town burned down.
What your money, guys, the government's money, that is your money. So let's show you a few more things of outrageousness that our tax dollars are being spent on. $100,000 to see if a sunfish is more aggressive when given gin or tequila.
Oh my gosh.
I'm guessing tequila.
$1 million to see if selfies make you happy. $1.5 million to study the mating calls of country frogs to see if they are different than city frogs.
I mean, we need to know that, right? I mean, are country frogs mating calls different than city frogs? That's a big question.
That, Cheryl, is what hardworking Americans' tax dollars are going to.
Oh, I have more. Why is the University of Mississippi spending $12 million for monkeys on meth? And why did the EPA spend $620
monkeys on meth? See, again, this stuff is so ridiculous that it's funny, but at the same time, it's super like sad.
grand for armor and night vision equipment? Somebody explain that one to me. But I'll tell you what, the biggest one that killed me was the fact that the IRS between October of 21 and 23, they've got $50 million in unpaid taxes from their own employees.
Whoa. What? The IRS? What? How many million did she say? 50 million unpaid taxes from their own employees? Wow.
Oh. IRS employees owe $50 million in back taxes. I want that. I want the IRS so gutted at this point. And Elon Musk, remember what he did with Twitter? He slashed out 70% of the employees at Twitter when he
I can't wait for that.
Just point that out.
So curious to see what happens.
But I have to tell
I want to know what happens.
Too is why
we're going to follow this every single day.
Pointed this out. Why does he have a $15 million security?
Yeah, we covered that here on this couch, Harris. And
Fauci has a $15 million security detail. Why? Is someone out to get him? I mean, I'm curious. How does that compare to the security detail of someone like Trump or Biden? I'm curious. Is it even more than their security detail? That sounds like a lot of money.
At the end of the day, the whole point is now President Trump is saying, not anymore, not on my watch. We are going to audit the government, and we are going to stop the spigot of hemorrhaging, and we are also going to do a better job auditing, because it's clear that America...
Auditing. Yes. We need to see where that money's going. You know, a lot of these little studies that they're doing, where does the money actually go? Are they just put in their pocket and creating some kind of report? They're using AI tools like ChatGPT and stuff to create some kind of report and to say, yeah, here we go. Here's our study. Thanks for the 1.5 million. I don't know. Where's this money going?
Americans do a better job auditing their own finances than the government does.
Yeah, so the deadline is 2026, July 4th, 2026, which is the 250-year anniversary of the United States of America. So I'm super excited to see how much they cut in the next couple of years and what kind of changes that has on the everyday American like me and like you. So let's go ahead and check out this report, though, real quick. Okay, so this report is put out by a Senate Committee on Spending, and I'm going to go ahead and put a link down below so you guys can check this out as well. But they call it the Festivus Report, which is a reference to Seinfeld and airing the grievances. And this report is airing the grievances of wasteful government spending. So it's kind of funny. Okay, the waste of 2023. And so we have a whole list of things right here. We have Barbie doll photos that were used to get COVID money. We have interest on our national debt. Dr. Fauci's monkey business at the Monkey Island. I'm curious to know more about that. There's like walking dogs research that they did. There's government pays dead people, $38,000. How to ruin expensive military equipment, $89,000. Let's see what else they have here. Okay, they have meth head monkeys for $12 million or a portion of that. Treasury's pot of cash for political campaigns, $400 million. What? NIH's monkey casino gambling, $3.7 million. Let's see, there's some kind of COVID study for misinformation on social media, $3.8 million. Dr. Fauci's transgender monkey study, almost $500,000. Some improper federal payments of $236 billion. What? Okay. $236 billion on improper federal payments. Holy cow, we need some accountability. That is ridiculous. That is billion, right? That is not million. That is, yeah, million, billion right there, $236 billion. So I'm going to dive into some of these reports in future videos. You're going to want to subscribe and follow along. I am really curious to see how our government is wasting our money. So make sure you subscribe and follow along. And if you're really interested in this DOGE as I am, please put it in the comments below. Hey, I'm curious to see what DOGE does too. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you on the next video.